Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UFC Weekly. I'm your host, Scott Nelson. So good to be here. This is the week of January 14th through January 20th, and it's a big week for the UFC because this Saturday, January 19th, is UFC 80 Rapid Fire coming to us from Newcastle, England, and it's for the UFC lightweight title. So it's a huge event for the UFC, and they're trying to be global. So it's a pretty awesome weekend for them. So let's get right into it. Now, I just want to tell you guys, I'm here for history, analysis, and commentary. If you want predictions, go somewhere else. I don't do it. MMA is too unpredictable to sit here and think I know what's going to happen in these fights. It really is. It's so unpredictable, and 2007 really proved that. So, UFC 80 Rapid Fire comes to us, and let's just get right into it because there are a lot of fights. The prelims. Let's start with the prelims, the undercard. Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I do not care about the majority of the fights that they've put on this. They're doing more of them, I think, for the hometown fans. They got two English guys fighting each other. They got a guy from Northern Ireland fighting a guy from Holland. Then they got Alessio Sakara. Who cares about that guy? I'm sorry. He's never done anything to impress me. Why do I need to watch him? The only person I do care about is Sam Stout. He's a young, lightweight. He beat Spencer Fisher once, lost to him a second time. He's got great punching. He's got a solid chin. So hopefully at the end of the pay-per-view we get to see that. Now let's get right into the main card. Kendall Grove versus Jorge Rivera. This is a no-win for anybody. I'm sorry. Listen, what happens if Kendall Grove wins this fight, beats Jorge Rivera? Now let's give you a little history here. Kendall Grove is the winner of the Ultimate Fighter Season 3. He lost his last fight to Patrick Cote. Patrick Cote went into that fight at 1-4 in the UFC. 1 win, 4 losses. Kendall Grove lost to him. Now, Jorge Rivera fought once in 2007. He's 35 years old. He lost in that fight in 2007 to Terry Martin. Why do I care what Jorge Rivera does? Guess what? I don't. So that's sort of frustrating. Jorge Rivera loses his fight to Kendall Grove. What does that do for Kendall Grove? Where does he go? He gets a win, and that's it. Does nothing else for him. And Jorge Rivera goes away. Now what happens if Jorge Rivera beats him? Or probably Jorge Rivera comes back to fight in 2009 when nobody cares once again. What happens if Jorge Rivera wins this fight? What does that do for Kendall Grove? Well, Kendall Grove takes 3 steps backwards. There's no doubt about that. That's a horrible loss for Kendall Grove. And then, what does it do for Jorge Rivera? Nothing. Jorge Rivera wins nothing. He can never compete at the 185. He can't fight Anderson Silva. He's not going to be able to fight someone like Dan Henderson. I don't see what they're doing. Jason Lambert versus Wilson Govea. Lambert is a veteran in the UFC at 23-6. This is his 30th fight in MMA. So good for him. His last win was his biggest win against Renato Babalu Brawl. That was a huge victory for him, no doubt about that. Wilson Govea is on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC. We'll see what they do, okay? This is a fight that was supposed to take place in 2007 in September. Govea broke his nose, was unable to fight. So they've studied each other for a while. Hopefully they can make it a really good fight to watch. And that's what I care about. And I think that's what we care about. Just seeing a good fight. I do like to see people who are true competitors and who can make their way up. And if they have no promise of that, I really don't care too much about them as fighters. Also, we got Marcus, the Irish hand grenade, versus Davis versus Jess Loudon. Both 34 years old. Loudon's a local. He's fighting out of London, born in France. But he's fighting, and so he'll be the hometown favorite. There's no doubt about that. They'll be rooting for him in England. Now, Marcus Davis, the Irish hand grenade. crazy nickname. His record's 13-3. He's won 5 in a row. He's got he's a good fighter. There's no doubt about that. He used to be a boxer, actually wins most of his MMA fights by submission. At 170 pounds, I'm really looking forward to this fight. Could be fight of the night, actually. So looking forward to that. Gabriel Gonzaga versus Fabricio Werdum. This is a rematch. Werdum beat Gonzaga, handed him his first mixed martial arts loss. Now this is the rematch. Obviously, he's fighting a whole new fighter in Gabriel Gonzaga. Gabriel Gonzaga came into the UFC, won 4 in a row. The last one being beating Mirko Cro Cop. Then his last fight, he lost to Randy Couture for the heavyweight championship. I mean, this guy knows how to fight, and I think it's going to be a really tough fight for Fabricio Werdum. But he's also a great fighter. Fought Arlovsky to a decision, so we'll see what happens. Really looking forward to seeing that fight. In actually, interesting note, Werdum fights out of Cro Cop's camp, Cro Cop's gym, so they have a little bit of history there. Like, he's sort of fighting for pride, you know, he's fighting for Cro Cop's name again. BJ Penn versus Joe Daddy Stevenson. What can I say? I can't say enough about either of the fighters, so let's get right into it. Joe Daddy Stevenson, 25 years old, and at 25 years old, this guy's a veteran, there's no doubt about that. He has 35 professional fights, he's 28-7. He hasn't lost, okay, he's been knocked out once by Jens Pulver in 1999. He was submitted twice, the last time being in 2000, okay? He hasn't been knocked out or submitted in almost 8 years. Every other loss has been by a decision. This guy is the real deal. He has earned his stripes and he deserves to be here. No doubt about that. He's fighting BJ Penn. BJ Penn is the prodigy, and we call him that because he is the prodigy. He is amazing, a freak, super strong, so athletic, flexible. BJ Penn has it all. The only question, once again, his training and his conditioning, because everything else is right there. So, BJ Penn, I'll give you a few notes on BJ Penn. He is the first American-born black belt winner of the World Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Championships. Okay. He's a former UFC welterweight champion. He beat Matt Hughes. He was winning all these lightweight titles. Like, this kid comes out of nowhere, winning all these lightweight fights, loses to Jens Pulver, moves up a weight class in the UFC, from lightweight to middleweight at 175 pounds. Instantly challenges for the title and wins. Nobody thought he was going to win. He just absolutely destroyed Matt Hughes. Went on to fight, and then just left the UFC for no apparent reason. He just didn't want to do it anymore. His other losses include George Rush St. Pierre, who he dominated in the first round, or he beat in the first round of that fight. Lost the next two, again, because of conditioning a little bit. He gassed a little bit, and that's just what happens. Now, in Matt Hughes' rematch against BJ Penn, BJ Penn destroys him for the first 2 rounds and then gasses again and loses in the 3rd round. Matt Hughes has the balls to say, I wish he came here to fight all 3 rounds. Are you kidding? All 5 rounds. Matt Hughes, if he fought all 5 rounds, you probably would have been dead. I mean, he was killing him. There's no way Matt Hughes wanted to fight all 5 rounds or wanted BJ Penn to be able to fight all 5 rounds. So anyway, BJ Penn has beat Renzo Gracie at 185 pounds. BJ Penn fought Lyoto Machida, who's a 205-pounder, and fought to a decision. Fought a pretty amazing fight. And that's what BJ Penn wants. BJ Penn wants to fight people in all different weight classes. He just wants to run the board. So this is his first step. BJ Penn, come out in the best condition of your life, and I believe nobody can beat you at 155 pounds or 170 pounds. And I believe he could challenge at 185 pounds. If he's fighting 205-pounders, you know, he's just an amazing, amazing athlete, and so I want to see him do well, there's no doubt, but he's fighting a really good opponent in Joe Daddy Stevenson. So, huge things happening this weekend. The winner of that fight is fighting Sean Shirk in a few months. So, UFC 80, rapid fire, catch it this weekend, Saturday, January 19th, 2008. So, that's it. That's all I got on that. Next week, I'm going to try to do a 2007 year in review of all of the UFC. That's my goal for right now. But there's so much UFC going on in the next 3 weeks. I don't know if I'll fit that in until February. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments, the email address is scottnelsonufc@gmail.com. Keep YouTubing UFC Weekly. I'll be up here all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.